हाउ हाउ आर यू? कैसा चल रहा है आपका? हाउस हाउस लाइफ? होप रात रात का टाइम इज कंफर्टेबल फॉर एवरीवन 9-10 क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल दे मे हैव सम घूमने जाना होगा, सैटरडे वीकेंड का टाइम है। बानू, वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम? चेन्नई?
Yes,
हेलो,
I'm from Chennai.
यू यू जॉइन फ्रॉम अ न्यू न्यू फोन अपार्ट? उसमें उसमें
Hmm.
आवाज नहीं आ रहा था?
Sorry?
You have joined for two devices.
No, one device only somewhere.
अच्छा,
Just a second.
हेलो कल्याण।
Yeah. Hi, Sandeep. Hi, everyone.
Sure, where are you from, native?
My native is I'm from Barampur only.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I know Pituvas and Maniapno. I know you know him.
Oh, Chennai friends.
Yeah, yeah. At the same time, we are working in different organizations, and they were at the time preparing for CA final.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
So me and Pitwas are very close friends. Like
Oh,
same college. Sawan, you know T Sawan?
yeah, yeah. Savant, Pituvas, and Mani, and because they four were at the roommates at that time.
Okay. So Chennai friends. Even I did my inter from MT Educare, Chennai only.
Oh, okay. So you are
Uh,
also stayed together with them.
yeah. But after clearing inter, I did my articleship in Bangalore.
Okay.
So, so they did articleship there. Maybe met during articleship time.
Okay. Okay.
So like now you are in
I
Pune
mean,
only.
no, Bangalore only.
अच्छा Bangalore only. अरे
I started my career at Chennai. After
हाँ
that, during COVID time, I switched to Johnson Controls. It's in Pune.
हम्म
And now I'm Simba Generics. It's in Bangalore. It's a pharma company.
अच्छा अरे you are in pharma company. I have a friend Jimit. Maybe he'll join today. Even he's in pharma company in the same accounts and finance. He's in
Oh,
Mumbai.
he's in Mumbai. Okay. Which
Like,
company?
I forgot the name. It's like
Ah,
mid cap company listed one.
okay. Hmm.
Hello Aditya, how are you? Kaushik. Kaushik is Siddharth's friend.
Yes, sir.
हम्म चलो चलो वेलकम वेलकम। देखो आज मीटिंग अटेंड करो तुम। आदित्य आदित्य तुम सांग सब सौम्यन आवके अटेंड करने हेलो सुधीर, वेलकम, हाउ आर यू? अरे कौन, क्या हुआ? मतलब व्हाट हैपेंड? नथिंग, मतलब एनीथिंग सीरियस? अरे कोई नहीं, आई डिडंट नो दैट। Recently, his mother also was hospitalized, right? Tough times. Hello, Piyush. How are you? How's new
Hi,
job?
sir. Hi, Silva. It's
How's new job?
good.
How's Sudhir? I hope Sudhir and all are taking care of you.
We are actually roommates.
अरे मस्त है
No, he is taking care of me.
Piyush is taking care of you.
Because
I don't know what he has, so he can manage always.
अरे so both of you take care for each other. He'll take care in professional thing. He'll take care in regional matters.
actually, he got me the room, okay? Through him, I got this
Uh,
room.
so,
So
so,
helping
the-
each other only.
so both of you are helpful people
Yep.
and each other. How's
Hmm.
how's work environment in ICICI Bank?
Till now, it's good
Uh,
because no work has been allotted to me. Let's see
once
what
work
happens in
starts,
future.
it's high. The the work environment is very energetic and full of. I have well the even Saturday Sunday ICICI Bank manager come मतलब whole day he'll be sitting in our office only. Or no one has any leave. There is no concept of leave in ICICI Bank.
Hey, today's leave. So I enjoyed the whole day, bro. We both actually.
uh,
Hmm.
lucky,
So
lucky.
till now, it's good. No
Uh,
issue.
but मतलब the learning opportunities are really great. मतलब because the amount of
Hmm.
proposals that ICICI Bank is doing currently in India, no other
Hmm.
bank can match that. The
Yep. One of
processing
the fastest
speed.
growing bank
Yeah, it's one of
in
the
India.
fastest growing bank. It's almost as big as HDFC today.
Hmm.
Even HDFC is not growing that fast. ICICI has, in the last 5 years, and the every campus placement, 35% of CS are hired by ICICI Bank.
Currently, ICICI Bank is the second in second position in
Mm.
hiring CS.
Hiring CS, and the package is also what they offer is I have seen the best in the industry.
Mm,
Sandeep,
yes.
Sandeep is here. Piyush, you know Sandeep, best friend.
Okay. First day ना उसका संदीप.
First meeting.
Okay. Okay.
So almost everyone has kind of joined. Two or three more people, I think, yet to join, but it's okay. Siddharth, Monali, remind Monali. Right?
Okay, sir.
She has yet to join. Otherwise, everyone has just joined. So Amit has not joined. Our most consistent member. So Aditya, can you kind of remind or call him? So most of us, look, there are many of us who were in the last. Amit is joining. Okay, cool. So we will start. We will start the thing. So first of all, there are many people who have joined here for the very first time. So let me just give a quick intro about what we do here. So it's a very casual, fun-loving group where all of us are kind of friends and in the same profession or have the same goal of we are all interested in learning about financial markets, stock markets, understanding businesses, and a lot of us actively invest in the stock markets. And I personally enjoy researching and learning on a very consistent basis. And every Saturday we meet. So and we choose a topic, we discuss about that, we look at the current business scenario in the stock markets, investment opportunities, and the topics are very have a lot of variety. Every week we discuss on something very new, and everyone gets to ask questions, everyone gets to offer their insights, their advices, and it's a very collaborative kind of an environment. um, we mostly focus on fundamental investing, at the same time understanding how to read charts. We have done a lot of sessions around how to read charts. Last session we did about how to um, last session we dived really deep into the hospital industry and the kind of investing opportunity that had in hospital industry, a very fundamental investing angle there. Some of you were present in last meeting. Even if you were not, today's topic is completely different, so it will not affect that. mm, so Midhans has joined. Hello Midhans, welcome to the meet. So we are just starting. I just gave an intro about what we do. It's just a very collaborative and casual, fun-loving group where we talk about financial markets, stock markets, every week or once on Saturday. And today we will be discussing about how to find stock ideas. How do we, if at all we invest today, how do we find stocks to invest in? We find stocks from news, or we find stocks from our friends, and it's a very inefficient way of finding stocks. So what I figured out is that once on the 1 week every month we will also invest our time in finding out how to find stock ideas, and today's session is kind of a start in that direction. So how do you find stocks actually? How do you find good companies to invest in? And there are many ways. There are many ways you find good businesses, and a stock is nothing but a business. And the only way a stock grows is when a business grows. We did a complete session on uh, what is a stock, and stock is nothing but a part of a company, and the company's business has direct correlation with the stock's price. So there are many ways you can find a stock. I'll not go to that extent. We'll probably do another session on all the types of ways we can find a stock idea. Today we will focus on a very specific data point that can help us find stocks that have good investment opportunities. So let me present the thing. So one way of finding stocks is about finding good businesses, and by observing in your day-to-day life, and by find and from news as well. So last week we we did a session where we fundamentally analyzed hospital sector, and what was the basis of finding that sector and finding these stock ideas was because there was lot of capital expansion. There were new and new hospitals were getting opened, and that led us to an insight, okay, there may be something big going on in the hospital sector. So we uh, researched a bit into the hospital sector. So what I did is that I created a Google sheet. I created a Google Sheet where we will be keeping track of the stock ideas we discuss every week. So that what happens is that going forward, we can also, keep this in mind. If there is more developments happening in a particular company, then we can discuss about that. For example, Narayan Hrudayalaya was, in talks to acquire a US hospital, and that affected its share price in a bit. So this watch list will help us keep track of these companies and also will give a structure to our weekly meets. Today, we will not go very deep into this thing because we have a separate topic that we'll be discussing. And the topic is promoter buying, right? So, what is promoter buying? What is a promoter? Can anyone send in the charts? What is a promoter? Actually, another thing I want to tell everyone is that this is a very collaborative kind of a space. Everyone is encouraged to communicate. You can turn off your mic and speak. You can send text in chats. The only way we learn, or the only way we truly get the best out of this session, is when we all interact with each other in a very meaningful way. So Mm, yes, the founding shareholders, owners of the company. So an important thing is that not only owners but also management. So uh, yes, the owner of a company is a shareholder. A promoter is a person who is not only the owner but also in the management seat. He has started the company. So Mukesh Ambani is the majority shareholder of Reliance as well as the board of directors, right? So uh, for example, even I am the owner of Reliance. I have one share of Reliance, but I am not a promoter because I have not started the company, right? And I also do not have any say into the day-to-day affairs of Reliance. If Reliance is going to start a new company called Geo or a Reliance Retail, I have no share in it. So promoter is someone who also has, of course, is a person who has used capital to invest in start to first mover profit. And yeah, of course, yes. So promoter is someone who is owner as well as who starts the company, right? And who is currently having this management position in the company, also the board of directors. An important distinction, just a small thing. In India, most of the promoters are also the board of directors position, right? You will see all the big companies, Reliance, Kotak, you look at HUL, you look at majority of companies, Adani, you look at many chemical companies, solar companies, 60 to 70% promoters are also the managing director, or in a very uh, management important management positions, right? Why is so important? And it's so different from US companies or a company like ITC or a company uh, or a company like Tata, where the majority share is with a different, the owner is very different and the management is very different. In US companies, you will see the shareholders are pension funds or a lot of mm, ETFs, capital funds, BlackRock Capital. You have venture capitalists, and the management will be completely different. But in India, the promoter and management are most often, matlab in 60 to 70% of cases, you will find the promoter is also the management. So that is why in India, promoter buying is a very important metric, is a very important data point for us to find out good companies. Why? Because when promoters are buying into a company, so this is what we call promoter buying. And now, can anyone say what is the reason why would a promoter buy shares of his own company? Why would a promoter buy shares of its own company? Very simple question. And why would anyone buy shares of a company? You can put in the chat. Yes, because yes, because the maybe the price of the share is going to improve, right? And why does he think so? Yes, 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 Uma. Mawai, you want to say something? You can unmute yourself as well. Yes, we are not audible. You're not audible. Okay, you can put in the chat as well. Of course, yes. So they're buying the shares of the company because they believe the share is going to grow, or the share price is going to increase. And the very fact that the promoters are saying that the share price is going to increase is very important. Why? Because they know more about a company than anyone else. So for example, yeah, they know the company inside out. Yes, Piyush, this is the exact point. They know exactly if, yes, if Adani is buying shares of Adani Port, Gautam Adani is buying shares of Adani Port, then why would we buy? Maybe Adani Port has got a new order, in Africa or in US. Maybe the demand of the industry is going to improve, and a promoter knows way better than any other analyst or any other brokerage or any other cap fund LIC. Before anyone knows, the promoter first knows if a company is going to do well. So promoter is the first person who understands the direction of a company. And by closely observing the promoters, we can also make a very calculated guess around the company's performance in the long run. So Peter Lynch, who is considered to be one of the greatest investors. He said that these insiders might sell their shares for any number of reasons, but they buy them for only one reason: they think the price will rise. And when these insiders are buying the shares of their own company, we have a very good reason to believe that something is happening in the company. And the only thing we have to do is we have to dig deep. We have to go really deep and understand why are they buying. And so today's session, we will be going very deep, and we will be looking at companies. We will be looking at companies where promoter buying is happening, and we'll be trying to analyze why these buyings are happening, and is these buyings are really something to look at, or are these wrong signals, or are these good signals. So there are many ways a promoter can buy shares of its own company, right? So is the distinction is based upon where they buy from. So in case of if you are able to see the screen, they can buy in open market. What do you mean by open market? They can, how we go and buy shares on Zerodha Kite. They can also go to a brokerage and buy shares from brokerages and directly from shareholders in open market. They can also, second one is preferential issue. This preferential issue doesn't happen in open market. The company issues to shareholders or to promoters directly. Preferential means it's preference मिल रहा है ना सबको. They are getting some preference. We are not getting the shares, even though I am also a shareholder. I hold one share, but Mukesh Ambani is getting a share, so he's getting a preference in getting a share at a discount, or maybe. So that is one way. And there is also warrants below market price. This is also very similar to preferential issue, but warrants are distributed to everyone. Everyone can decide if they want the share. Rights issue is also very similar to warrants. It's also available to everyone. So these are the four ways of buying, shares that a owner of a company can do. A promoter can buy shares in these four ways. I am most interested in open market buyings, right? Why? Because preferential issue, rights, warrants, these issues are mostly available to everyone. I am mostly interested in open markets and preferential issues. Right? And why are they buying the shares anyway? Even if they are buying from open market or preferential issue, why are they buying? Are the valuations good? Is the business is also looking in a good way, right? So we will also do the fundamental analysis, but we will take these data points as a signal to look at this company, to get a stock idea at least. And after we get a stock idea, we will go really deep, we'll analyze the company, and then we'll decide whether this buying have some value, because whether the promoter buying has some real value in the company. So before we go there, uh, we'll spend 5 minutes to understand promoter buying a little bit more. So one thing that I will stress a lot is that why would a promoter buy the share of a company? I already asked, you already said. So the question is, why would a promoter buy the shares of a company? So uh, I already asked it, and you have already said it, that they would buy the share because they believe the price of the share is going to go up, because they know some insider information that we don't. And based on that conviction, they are putting this amount in. The very in very simple words, they believe the value of the share is cheap in current markets, and they want to buy cheap so that they can sell when the right price comes, right? And why would they sell? They will sell when they believe the prices are not, the prices are very heavy, or it's a good, then only they will sell, or maybe the company is going to go down. All these reasons they will sell. So some good data points that I found out is that whenever the equity markets perform really well, for example, from 2020 to 2023, our equity markets did a phenomenal return. There were a lot of stocks that went 10x, 15x, 5x. The markets itself were 3, 5x, right? And you see, there are so many IPO launches. There are s- there are so many promoters who are selling their stake in the market. What is an IPO? An IPO is basically an event where promoters are selling their stake to public. We are buying the stake from promoters. So promoters are essentially selling their stake for a very high price. Why? Because the market is at a very high price, and when the market is at so good, and they see that this is a very good price for me to sell the shares of a company, right? So basically, when we apply to an IPO, हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम माल पकड़ रहे हैं, वो माल बेच रहे हैं, हम पकड़ रहे हैं, ठीक है? So if you really look at IPOs. So this is from Economic Times I was reading. Okay, in from during the 2020 to 2023 bull run, 16,000 crore of shares were sold by promoters. This is not IPOs. This is apart from IPOs. 16,000 crore of shares has been sold in open market. मतलब open market sale by promoters. You have companies like HDFC AMC, Vedant, HDFC Life, Easttrip, Coforge, Clean Science. So all these companies, and so if you really analyze this thing, you also look at market from both angles. Okay, IPOs are, so when market is really going, in a bull rally, and we are running after buying stocks, the people who really know, the insiders, they are selling stock, right? Do you find this interesting? In a bull market, when everyone is looking to buy stock, it's for promoters or for these HNIs or high net worth individuals, for FIIs, DIs. It's a very good opportunity to sell stocks. So this is a very graphical presentation. In case of a FMCG index, which was going really up during the 16 to 19 time frame, there were no promoter selling, there were no promoter buying in any way. Why? Because they will not buy a very matlab, high price stock, right? They will only sell during this time. And in case of a pharma index which was going down at the same time, there were a lot of promoter buying happening that time. So all this is just to give you an idea about how to look at promoter buying, how to look at insider trading. Is that it should give you a signal in that way. If promoter buying is happening, then the insiders of a company think that the price of the stock is cheap. And if insider selling is happening, then the insiders of the company think that the price is high. And this was a research report by Mr. MG Maran. It's available on YouTube actually, and he did a research of 3 year stock performance of companies, and he saw कि wherever promoter shareholding has increased, basically means कि promoter buying has happened, then in 73% of cases the stocks performed substantially. Substantial मतलब 2 digit growth, 10% से ज़्यादा, and 15% stocks had single digit growth, 11% stocks had negative returns as well. But this essentially means that this is a very good data point for us to look at. This is a very good data point to get us stock ideas, at least get a signal that this may be a good stock to look at. Now I have spent close to half an hour trying to convince you guys we should look at promoter buying. We should, why this is so important to look at, right? I hope all of you are convinced. I am very convinced at least. So now the question arises, a very obvious question arises. Okay, I understand. It's important to look at, and it's so important. It gives us such a clear signal. Now, how to do, right? How do I get this data? From where do I insider data? If a promoter is buying, why will he tell anyone? Uh, you get anyone has this doubt? So, so I had this doubt actually, and when I started investing, okay, I want to know insider data, but where do I get it from? The funny part is, it's available in NSE website. We do not know, but all the promoters and insiders, including employees of a company, are you know mandated by SEBI guidelines to report their buying and selling activities to NSE on a very periodical basis. And it's available on NSE website, and you can get it for free. And it is so detailed report that you will, I really got the amount of information it had was so, for if you can analyze, then you can get a lot of insights onto it. So the way you can do that is you go to, so what we can do, if you have a laptop and if you are watching this meet on phone, or if you can access your laptop, I suggest you do this. Go to Google and search NSE insider trading. You get this link, you click on that link. If you want, I'll wait for 2 minutes for you to do this, but I highly suggest everyone do this. If you have a laptop, then 100% do this. And after you have gone to this link, something like this would appear. uh, you can select the time frame. You can select the time frame. Yes, everyone should, well, if you have gone here, send me a thumbs up. Thanks, Uma. Well, the energy of the thing meetings should be this high. Everyone should be, yes, everyone should be participating. Everyone should be, अरे इतनी खुशी ऐसा लग रहा है दिवाली आ गई क्या? Is insider not considered illegal? Insider is not considered, what is considered illegal? If you if you get insider information and trade based on insider information, it's considered illegal, right? And for employees, but for promoters, if they buy, they have to report it, right? So that is the compliance that they have. And SEBI has their insider trading mechanisms through which they research into whether, so if a promoter has bought right before the results and sold right after the results, right, the law says he has to report it in the insider trading, and then SEBI will kind of research if he has done some insider trading, he has got some information, undue advantage, he has taken undue advantage of that information, right? So that they can do, but no one can stop anyone from investing in a company for long term, right? So we are looking at that. We are not looking at insider trading where they buy in one day, sell the other day based on news. Lot of things like that happen. So everyone has gone there, and you can download this CSV file. And if you don't want to do that, you can also scroll down. You have all these details here, but it's very tedious. Matlab, I'll tell you, you do not look at the details yet. It's very dimag फट जाएगा. So I'll make it little easy for you. But what you can do is you can download this CSV file. And what I'll do is that I have downloaded. So I will open this CSV file. I'll show you the CSV file. Yes, so this is the CSV file. You can look at the amount of information it has. It has the company, it has actually it has a lot of information. Who has bought the share, you can see if it's a promoter, if it's a director, right? What type of security, it's a equity share, preference share, the amount of shares he has bought, right? Is that a buy transaction or that a sell transaction, right? Then the date on which he has bought it, right? And the mode of acquisition, the four types of acquisition we just saw: market में open sale or open buy, preferential, rights issue, right, bonus, all these types of. So what is the mode of acquisition is also written here, and there are many data here. What, for example, if I look at okay, if I look at any company. So, for example, this is of Aarti Industries, right? You can see कि इसमें buy भी है, sell भी है, right? And तो how do I know कि promoter buying हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है, right? Suppose उसने 1 लाख का खरीदा है, 2 लाख का बेच दिया, right? तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? I have to consolidate this entire sheet in some way कि all buy and sell are consolidated. So if he has bought 20,000 and then 40,000, ऐसा करके 1 लाख in 4 tranches, तो I need to consolidate it. देखो इसमें 4 Jan में he has done 3 transaction. I need to consolidate it. Then I can look at it कि he has bought it or sold it. तो I'll not dwell deep into that. I just wanted to tell कि इसको कैसे देखना है आपको. What I have done is I have already consolidated it. So so that in this meet we can just focus on analyzing promoter buying, right? If you are interested in how to prepare this consolidation, we can do a separate session on that, where I can, where I can tell you how to go from here to here. So what I have done is that I have consolidated all the buy figures of promoters, and I have also sorted them from highest to lowest. I am not interested in promoter buyings below 30 crores, so I'll not look at them. I'll only look at promoter buying. So probably there were 300, 400 companies where promoter buying has happened. But I'm looking at, for simplicity's sake, I'm looking at this 15, 20 companies. We will look at probably 5, 6 companies. We'll analyze 5, 6 companies today so that you get a time to look at other companies which if you find something interesting, right? So if we look at this basic table, तो इतने सारे columns मैंने सारे हटा दिए. I have removed all the unnecessary columns. I have only put columns what is absolutely essential for us to look at promoter buying. So there is, for example, the first company that is has the highest amount of promoter buying is Tata Motors. 2,943 crores of promoter buying. Right. So what I'll do is that this is where I come. Okay. So I need some little more detail on that. So I have expanded that detailed Excel sheet for you to look at. And if you look at it, there are many transactions that have happened. If you look at, are you able to look at the date? The date is 25th September 2024. Are you able to look at the date? The date is here, right? The date is here, right? Yes, thanks. And there is also value written there. All these values have been, consolidated into 2,900 crores. Now, the most important thing to look here is the mode of acquisition. And the mode of acquisition is merger. So I have, for the last 40 minutes, I have, explained you a lot about promoter buying, right? Now, an important thing to look here is that he has not purchased the promoters means promoters of Tata Motors have not purchased this from open market, right? They have invested in Tata Motors in merger scheme में अब किया. I'll give you some details about the merger. What has happened is that Tata Motors Finance करके एक कंपनी था जो कि which was the subsidiary of Tata Motors. मतलब all the vehicle financing which when you buy a car there's an EMI option that used to happen in Tata Motor Finance, and that got merged with Tata Capital, which is an NBFC like NBFC like you have NBFCs like HDFC, Housing Finance, Bajaj Finance. So there is a NBFC company of Tata called Tata Capital. So this Tata Motor Finance got merged with Tata Capital, right? This is what has happened. So considering this, what is the signal of this promoter buying? Should I value it or is not really important for me? Everyone can take 1 minute or 2 minutes to think. Considering this is not an open market buy, this is a merger transaction. So is this valuable for me? Is this information, is this promoter buying tells me something about the company? It's going to increase, it's going to decrease. Yes, it's very important to think, right? What happens is that we only listen, but we never think. The moment we start thinking, everything kinds of makes sense. And I'm very happy that everyone of you is starting to think. Everyone is contributing to it. Everyone should. It's very important to give a and also give a reason. Okay, why do you think? And this is where all of us can benefit from each other. All of our reasons, all of our thinking can enrich each other's knowledge and experience. Very good insight, Medans. The merger can affect business. Yes, there may be some synergies of merger. So this may be invaluable. Yes. So the way everyone is thinking, this is something beautiful. That is, the something that makes this meeting so beautiful. Everyone is giving something, and what makes me really happy is to look at everyone thinking. It's a demerger for Tata Motors, exactly. So it got demerged from Tata Motors and it got merged into Tata Finance. So so if it's a demerger, then maybe you cannot really say that it's not beneficial. अगर भार था मेरे सर पे मैंने निकाल लिया तो I am very free to run. So it may happen, but what uh, from an if it's an open market purchase, then it's very much important for me. merger is basically business arrangement. तो it really तो इसमें promoter का भी कोई हाथ नहीं है. It's a business decision. Company has taken it. Promoter has not taken this decision. Promoter has just subscribed to these shares, right? And so it may be a good signal as well. Maybe this merger can have synergies in Tata Finance. Maybe for Tata Motors it was not a good business, so they have get rid of it. So it may be a good value proposition for them as well. For I personally don't think that is much valuable, because merger is a business decision rather than some uncommon insight about the future of the company. Yes, I can show you. If I show you the graph of Tata Motors of that day, you will kill me. So what I'll do, so basically one thing we have to also keep in mind, okay, this time market is in a crash mode, right? So Tata Motors actually crashed a lot that day. So this thing happened on 24th September, and this is 24th September. 974 was the rate. Now it's 754. This does not essentially mean that this merger is wrong. This essentially means that Tata Motors was very highly overvalued during that point of time, and that is the reason of this correction. So there is not much consensus on merger ka valuation, right? So the only thing I would want you to take away from this is that it's not as important as open market purchase. That's the only thing I want you to take out of it. So that's what I have written my opinion on it. The purpose of the merger was a business arrangement rather than a new business opportunity or something substantial. Now, if we look at the second company, it's if you look at after Tata Motors, it's Kiri Industries, right? Now, lot of okay, Kushal has asked, is it not making it undervalued? Yes, we can. So this is a good question. We can probably do a fundamental analysis on Tata Motors one day. That day we can decide. I am personally invested in Tata Motors because I do feel it's undervalued. But from this data, we cannot say that if it's undervalued or not. Just because it has corrected, that doesn't mean if it has this 40% down from its highs, that doesn't mean it's undervalued, right? We need to go really deep to truly understand if it's undervalued or not. We'll probably do a fundamental analysis on Tata Motors one day. And next company is Kiri Industries, right? Now I want you to pay really good attention to it, because going from now on you will be doing the analysis. I will just be guiding you in the right direction. So keep a keen eye on the details. So can everyone put in the chat what is the amount of promoter buying that has happened in Kiri Industry? If you have a note, you can write in there as well. Or no, put in the chat is better actually. Yes, 390 crores, right? Now, if I ask you, everyone, yes, cool, very good. If I ask you, what is Tata Motors has purchased 2,943 crores, where Kiri Industry has purchased only 390 crores. What do you think is more significant, Tata Motors or Kiri Industries? So what I'll do, I'm very happy to see everyone contributing, and others also I highly encourage think and contribute in the chats, because the analyses that are going to follow are going to blow your mind. The amount of thing that we're going to go deep into, right? So the important thing to look here is the market capitalization of Kiri Industries. It's a company of 3,300 crores, right? And its promoter have a stake of 31 percentages. And for a company of 3,000 crore to have a promoter buying of 400 crores, 390 crores is close to 10% of its value. Right? Whereas in case of Tata Motors, it's a 2,71,000 crore company, and it for 2000 crore is 1%, right? And so it has 10%. So the another important thing I want all of you to notice, exactly, everyone has, so they, everyone has figured it out. So the important thing I want you to notice is that while analyzing promoter buying, the most important thing we have to analyze is that, is the buying significant? If the promoter of Tata Motors is buying 5 crore worth of shares, it's not significant. उनके लिए क्या है? It's like buying race 5 रुपए का, नहीं चाहिए, छोड़ो. But for a small company like Kiri Industries, for their promoters to go and buy 10%, 390 crores worth of shares, to have that bigger transaction, that means something, right? Everyone is able to get the gravity of this data point. Is very important to see. The first thing I see when I hear also there are many times you will see in money control there will be news coming, promoter has bought. So first thing I see is that what is the percentage, how big is that buying amount, and the next thing I'll ask is what is the value at which he is buying. We'll look at that as well. So what we'll do is that we will also expand that transaction. I'll go into the main sheet and I have opened it so that all of you can look at it. Now the mode of acquisition is a preferential offer. A preferential offer is as good as a open market buy, right? So only the promoters are buying, and the value. The most important thing is that all the transactions are buy. They have not sold a thing. They are only buying, buying, buying. And can anyone tell me the dates on which they have bought on the chart, please? Yes, Vedans, graph. We are going to the graph. We will go to the graph. That's yes. So the I have kept the suspense for the end. So once you analyze the whole thing, then I'll give you the ending. के बाहुबली को कटप्पा ने क्यों मारा? Yes. So first of all, I want you to generate a good understanding of what is going to happen or what this means, right? Yes. So November 13th and December, not December, but October 15th and November 13th. These are the dates on which they have bought, right? And they have bought substantial amount in the company. And this was during a preferential issue of 300 400 crores का उन्होंने अप्रूव किया था, but they did 390 crores. And if you look at the graph of a company, so if it's properly visible to you, this is where they bought. They bought around 300 rupees, and look at where the price went. It went to 700 rupees, right? So this is the weekly chart, a very long term chart. What I want you to look at here is that the company's stock was, struggling from. Okay, I have not. Yes, if you're able to see the timelines as well. From 2016, the share was struggling. It was struggling. It was not able to give a good bull run. Which means the business was struggling, right? And the promoters, right after they purchased, somehow the business went well. So it only shows they had some uncommon information. They had some, and also there are two things here. Maybe the business also was doing good. Kiri Industries in chemical sector, and chemical companies were, had good quarters in the previous quarters, and also because of the high promoter buying that happened, 390 crores. So 3000 crore के company में 390 crores का purchase happens, so it also pulls the company's price. So these are the two reasons why this happened. If we go little more deep into the chart, you can see 15th October is when they bought for the first time, which I have marked there, if you can see. And also if you can see, look at the graph where these big volume candles are there. So this is a 88% move in a company's share, right? So if we had analyzed this company on 15th October, and we kept this in our radar, and we had done some fundamental analysis, if we kept following it, maybe we would have been able to capture 15-20% of this 88% move. That's not important. What's important is to how to analyze this promoter buying, right? So what I'll do is that I will go to the next company. Mm, So the important question now you should have asked me is that should we buy it now? I'll not tell you because I am not an investment advisor, but I'll not, because it has already given a pretty good run. I have not fundamentally analyzed it. Chemical sector is actually doing well, so I will analyze the business of the company, the valuation of the company. If I still think if it's worth buying, then the important thing is not whether I will buy or not. This is not the purpose of this session. The purpose of the session is to keep Kiri industry in my watch list. That is what I will do. I will keep it in the watch list. And have you attended the last session how we did the fundamental analysis of hospital industry? I'll do a fundamental analysis of Kiri industry, and then I'll decide whether it's worth buying or not, whether it's the price is cheap or not, or the business has some potential growth or not. So that is a different ball game. That's I'm not going there. I The purpose of this session is to have stock ideas, is to get stock names. We always look at people who somehow get these stock names, and we get to know them after it has become 10x, right? We would have faced this. I have faced this for a very long part of my career. So what this helps us, so now today we are looking at promoters. Next week we will look at HNIs, these high net worth individuals like Rakesh Junjunwala, matlab, Damanis, the Bansals. Even their transactions and these data points are also available. Then we look at FIIs like Blackstone Capital, venture capitalists. Where are they investing? And we'll also look at DIIs, right? So we'll emulate their investment decisions, and this is where we will get our stock ideas from. And once we get these stock ideas, then our independent research, it helps us. But at least we should get the right stocks to work on, and this is where we get these right stocks to work on. And this session is kind of the you know initial session, the first session in this long series of sessions, which will happen once every month. And we looked very briefly about two companies, how we analyzed the promoter buyings that happened there. We'll go to the next company. So this is essentially the consolidated table. You can see we looked at Tata Motors. Second, we looked at Kiri Industries. Now there is a company called Signi Titech. Now, to be very frank, even I have never heard of Signi Titech. But yesterday, when I was doing the analysis, I came across this company. I read about this company a little bit, right? So it's an IT company, and it's an IT company. It's software testing. If you look at the about section, is providing engineering software testing services to clients. It's based out of Hyderabad. It's a company that has a market capitalization of 5,000 crores, right? And it has 178 crores worth of promoter buying that has happened in Signi Titech. And you also have, if you are able to look at the screen, I hope it's properly visible. You have all the details right in front of you. Now I'll not. I have already guided you through for two stocks. What is the uncommon insight that you have here? What do you think? What do you make out of these data points? Is it good signal? Is it bad signal? Do you think it will perform well or not? Then of course I have the graphs, Vedant. After this, we'll look at that as well. Yes, Vedant, you want to say something? You can mute yourself and
या हेलो। तो मैंने एक्चुअल चैट में क्वेश्चन पूछा था बट इधर ही पूछने लगा। सो जो हम लोगों ने डेटा पॉइंट्स देखे या फिर जो एंट्रीज देखी इन द एक्सेल, were they done after they have bought the shares or they have to uh, inform to NSE before buying it?
No, they have done after they've bought the share, right? So it's not that you if they bought on 15th October, you will get the data on 15th October, but you will get on 17th or 18th. It will get reflected in money control as well as in NSE data, but they have to report right after they have bought it. Bought it. Some days there sometimes the reports after 7 days, 8 days. It doesn't mean that if they bought on 15th October, it will go up on 16th October. In that case, it's fraud. I'll never buy that share because clearly the promoters are defrauding the company, right? What I am looking at is that if some genuine long-term investments, some genuine long-term commitments by the promoters, if the and I how do I know that when I correlate it with the business, right? What happens in some companies, they bought on 15th, it went up 50% and they sold on right after that bull run and it came back. So I'm not looking at those. These are fraudulent managements. These insider trades don't mean anything to me. But I am looking at companies where the promoters have bought with a clear conviction, right? Where they are buying for cheap stocks, where they think the valuations are right. I will look at uh, these examples. But to answer your questions, it takes probably 2 to 7 days for these insider trades to reflect.
Okay, and to carry on the same question, if it like to, I got just got a new question related to that. Let's take an example. You said कि 2 से 7 दिन लग रहे हैं to get a
Hmm.
stock. Okay, to get that detail. But
Hmm.
within that 2 to 7 days, the stock is increasing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
what is the price के पे you think कि ये percentage में मैं खरीदना better रहेगा because I
Hmm.
can assure कि हाँ ये fraudulent नहीं जा रहा है. Let's take
Hmm.
an
Hmm.
example.
Yes.
कि
Yes, that's exactly
let's
the question Kanu actually asked. Okay, who do you should buy or not? So the thing is that to take that decision, you have to do fundamental research. You have to properly understand the company first. You have to understand the valuations first. We are not going to buy because promoter has bought. We are going to look at the company because the promoter has bought. Why we will buy the company? We will buy the company because the business is at a cheap valuation, right? And how do you know business is at a cheap valuation? That you have to understand the value of the business, right? So that you know from fundamental investing. So that is what the purpose of this uh, looking at promoter buying and this session is not to buy a company, is to know a company, is to look at a company. So this is how I know about emerging companies. Okay, which companies are going to trend or which companies are going to. So if I get 20 companies, I'll probably select one or two companies which I really think have the clear signals. And after that, also, there are a lot of fundamental due diligence that I will do to answer your question. Okay, should I buy or not? Right. So that's a long process. It's not that easy. So the but what happens is that in a environment like this, where a lot of people are all of us are here, right? So if I do, so for example, I have done the promoter analysis. All of you can take benefit of this analysis, right? So what we will do every 3 months or every month, we can do promoter analysis because now everyone knows it. So we can have this sheet updated. We can look at what and all companies have, good volume and volume of buying happened there, and if we are getting some good names there. So this is the benefit, and I would say power of having a community, having people who who are equally passionate about the same goal. So if you find out okay, Kiri industry is a good stock because this promoter analysis has happened, everyone can take benefit of that analysis, right? So anyone wants to ask anything else? Or if everyone the thing if everyone has any insights about Signitech, Signititech, Signititech company. If anyone wants to say something about it. Okay, what simple question. What are the two dates when buying has happened? I hope the sheet is properly visible. Exactly. Exactly. Everyone else? Uh, Uma, Uma has. Arey, you also put in the chat, na? Yes, yes. So 19th November and 20th December. And do you see any red flag? Do you see any red flag in this promoter buyings? Okay, this doesn't sit well with me. This is not proper. ऐसा कुछ लग रहा है. Do you see any red flags in Signitech? Yeah. Yes. Good observation. Yes. Okay. Yes. Others mode of acquisition. That's also. So probably we do not know what is the mode of acquisition in others. That's also a good observation. The most important thing is that they have bought and they have sold in the same volume. So they are not probably doing a long-term investment. They are probably trading or making some quick bucks. I know I have not seen the graph, but this tells me कि एक 5,000 करोड़ की कंपनी में इन्होंने 1,000 करोड़ का खरीदा है और 845 करोड़ का बेचा है. Right, so maybe this doesn't look well. Why would a promoter buy and sell at the same time? Are you a trader, a businessman, do business? But still, they have net में they have purchased 178 crores. So for a 5,000 crore company is a good, मतलब big amount. So even though it doesn't look good, I'll still look at the company. And actually, tech companies were performing well that time. Mm. So if you look at it, sorry. So if you look at it, uh, this is where, okay, everyone is visible. So this is where promoters have bought and the stock, kind of pumped a lot. Maybe because it's a small cap company. Into suppose 5,000 करोड़ की कंपनी में 1,000 करोड़ का अगर बाई आता है, तो this will happen. But I'll not be completely convinced about their fundamentals. Okay, they have also sold 845 crores. So what is the reason for this huge amount of buying and selling? So if you look at it, this is 19th November and there was December also. So he has bought around at 1400, then again at 1700, and the stock has given 50% returns as well. So it has given a lot of returns, and after a long time, this bull has happened. But the most important thing I will observe here, कि the promoter buying kind of led to this, right? And I'll keep it in track. Okay, what is happening exactly? Why did he buy such a huge amount and sold such a huge amount, right? So it will be a thesis point for me and some fundamental understanding there. If we read the con calls of the company, obviously people would have asked the promoters, why did you do that? Then we'll listen to the reasons. Okay, what this is the reason why this has happened. Actual date graph. So yes, this is the actual date graph. I have, if you see, I have plotted an indicator which shows you from 19th November to 23rd December. If you want to research really deep into it, you can go to trading view chart. We can do that as well. We can do that here as well, but it will take a little bit of time. So I've taken the screenshots so that it's you know doesn't waste time of people. So I hope this is something also worth looking at. Next company was Hind. It's a home interior company. Hind, I hope obviously you would have heard of it. Hind sanitary wares. There are a lot of ads come out of it. So if you look at it, it's 150 crores worth of promoter buying has happened. I hope everyone is able to see this. If we look at the fundamentals of the company, mm, the company's market capitalization is 2000 crores. So for a 2000 crore company to have 150 crore worth of buyings, I think it's a pretty huge deal, right? Um, you can look at the about of the company. It's in home servicing and consumers, basically home innovations, sanitary wares, and all type of home automations, all that business they are in. I am interested in their promoter buying. If you look at their shareholding pattern also, you can see from January, from September 2024 to November 2024, there is a increase in promoter percentage of holdings. Around 1% they have increased. And if I look at the detailed, they have done a rights issue on 28th November, right? So they have the promoters and also existing shareholders, they have kind of purchased. And the most important thing for me to look at it is at what price they've bought it. So if you look at it, it's around 220 rupees. How do I know that? If you look at the description, rights issue of equity shares of rupees 2 at a premium of 218. So 218 plus 2, 220 rupees is the price that they have purchased the shares worth. What was the amount? 150 crores, right? So I know it's a good company. It has good brand name, and the promoters are buying into the company. Maybe they are starting some new business. They would have mentioned it in the rights issue. So not something really surprising for the markets, but still maybe some new business opportunities are coming in. And whenever there are business expansion or all those stuff happening, obviously it has a fundamental effect in the company. And if we look at the chart of the company, I hope everyone is able to look at it. This is, I have circled it around. This is the place where they have bought, but then it's around 276 rupees. They have bought at a discount price of 220 rupees. Okay, but I feel it's matlab, why they would have bought it at such a low price, after such a crash in the share price of the market. So as an observer, as an investor, what it tells me is that maybe they think the price is a cheap valuation for them. It's a good place to purchase the stock, and they also have some business opportunities. That's why they have arranged the rights issue capital. So maybe they are looking at new business opportunities, and the company is also having a good valuation as per the promoters. So that essentially looks like a business thesis what is here. So pretty good. I would definitely keep it in my watch list. I would analyze it a bit more, because in other companies we were like, how do I buy this company? It has already made 80% gain, and here I am like, how do I buy this company? It's already 40% down. So you never know. You cannot decide if you can buy the company based on looking the chart. For that, you need to have different data points. You need to have a business overview and valuation overview. Okay, you first decide the valuation, what is a good valuation, and if the business is having potential. These are the two things that we have to look. And that is what fundamental analysis is all about, right? Hmm. Okay. Okay. So this. So what is the time now? It's already 10 o'clock. Okay, it's already 10 o'clock. And these were essentially the shortlisted companies as per me. it took me so much time to explain it to you, at least four companies. It will not actually take that much time for you to analyze, but the purpose was to, analyze with you guys together. And how do we, what are the essential parameters, what are the essential things that we look at. So what I'll do probably is I'll kind of go through the entire thing in a very 5 minute fashion, so that you get a very good summary or a recap of what happened, right? So first thing is that why are we looking at promoter buying in the first place? The purpose is to get stock ideas. The purpose is to get a signal that something is happening in the stock. Why? Why would the promoter buy a stock anyway? Because he feels that the price of the stock or the business can grow. And a promoter is the best person to say that. No matter how many brokerages, no matter how many funds, DIS, FIS, the first person who knows that a company is going to do well is the promoters of a company, because they know the business in and out. The insiders, they might sell the share for any number of reasons. They need the money, they want to pledge, they start a new business. But the only reason they buy the share of a company is because they believe the company is going to grow. And this, for us, is a very important data point to look into. There are four ways they can buy into a company. They can buy in the open market from regular uh, share market. They can do a preferential issue from the company. They can exercise warrants and also rights issues at a discounted price. The most important thing that we looked at is that uh, not only from theory, but also we looked at real data points. Okay, whenever there is huge bull run in the markets, a lot of IPOs come into play. Whenever there is huge returns in the equity markets, the promoters start to sell their stake. Why? Because they feel that this is a good place for us to offload, because this is a very high valuation for us, where compared to the business that the company is in, and that's where they choose to sell the stake of the company. In 2020, so we looked at that in the bull run of 2023, around 16,000 crores worth of promoter sell that happened in the share markets. Then we also looked at how to get this data points, how to exactly get the data point of how to get the exact promoter buying amounts. So it's available in the NSE website. You can download the CSV files, and this is the summary. This is the summary report that we kind of prepared. We arranged in an ascending order. We looked at companies that had promoter buying above 30 crores, and there were some important things that we looked at. First of all, which was the mode of acquisition. In case of Tata Motors, the mode of acquisition was merger, and we gave it less value than an open market purchase, because merger is basically business rearrangement rather than having some real business growth or potential in the business, which can essentially, lift the price of the stock as well. And then we looked at Kirin industry, where the important thing we looked here is that the amount of promoter buying happened was a significant part of the market capitalization of the company. It was around 10% of the market capitalization. And results, the company, because of the promoter buyings, zoomed to close to 88% of gains. Then the next company we looked at was Signititech. And the peculiar thing we looked at here is that there was significant buying volume and selling volume as well. So this doesn't really give a very, good picture of the promoters buying, because they are essentially trading instead of investing in the long term vision of the company. But still, the amount of promoter buying was still high for a small company of 5,000 crores. And in this company as well, you can see there was close to 50% returns in I think 34, matlab in 1 month. In 1 month, it kind of zoomed past in close to 50%. Then we looked at Hind. what is the name of the company? Hindware Home Innovation, and it's also a small company, 2000 crore company, and it had a promoter buying of 150 crores, and it was a different story altogether, where the company's stock actually was crashing at the same time. And what is the business thesis we can make out of it? Maybe the promoters think it's a good place to buy. The stock's price may be cheap as per their insights. So the purpose of looking at all these stocks, the purpose of looking at all these data points is not to buy Hindware or not to buy Akiri Industries, right? The purpose is to have to to take notice of these stocks, to because there is something happening. We do not know what. The next step is to go into understanding the business and valuation of these companies, do the proper fundamental research into it, and then can we form a real opinion about whether we should uh, invest in these companies or not. But getting these stock ideas is very uncommon. Where do we get these stock insights? Where do we get companies that have the potential to increase? Because there are thousands of companies in the stock market. How do I narrow it down? And these are some tools that can narrow it down. When we look at the buyings of promoters, when we look at buyings of HNIs, when we look at buyings of FIIs, DIIs, where are they work? Where are they looking at? And we want to look there because money is going to these places. And wherever money is going to, we want to follow the money because money follows business. And then we can also find good businesses. And this was essentially a way to narrow down our focus, to look at good businesses, continuously surround ourselves with good businesses, and then understand them, which will in turn help us to build a good portfolio of businesses and stocks. So this was today's session. If you want to know how to prepare that summary sheet, I can send you some tutorials. If you want, ask me in the message in the WhatsApp group, then I'll. If you otherwise, you don't need to do anything as well. We'll be having this analysis probably on a regular basis in our club as well, uh, where we will on a regular basis look at companies and try to find good companies that we can include in our watch list. The good thing is that you have Sunday all to yourself, and if you are really interested and if you find these things really interesting, then you have still have probably 1 second, you still have another 16 companies to look at, right? And there will be lot of questions, doubts you may have. So the only thing I would motivate you is to look at these companies. You have understood or learned something about promoter investing, promoter buying, so you can research more about it in YouTube, right? And based on those insights, you can go about looking all these companies. You can share your opinions, you can ask for doubts, or you can ask for other people's observation on the same data points in the group. Everyone will be very happy to help you. I will be very happy to engage in those analysis, uh, and that's how we build our uncommon investing sense, right? We look at through experience, not through these lectures, not through YouTube videos, right? Through experience. When we look and analyze and we put our efforts in, that's how we will build our investing experience. So I am very happy the way the session has went. Everyone of you has contributed to the session in a very proactive manner, and the way you have answered or the way you have engaged with me, you were you were able to understand the concepts very properly. So I hope everyone has got something out of this session. All these sessions together, will uh, work in a very comprehensive manner to building that investor sense within all of us. So thank you for the session. If uh, I would request the people who have joined for the very first time, if they could say what was their experience, how do they think that session if was helpful, and something, what do they feel about it? Medans, you would like to say something?
Yep, it was new and it was good.
Thank you. Uh, Medans, most of the people here are finance professionals. You come from a tech background, and most of the terms that have been flung upon have very financial terms. But uh, you're smart enough to figure this out. But uh, still, for you, the first session we went something really insightful, deep into something. So I'm glad you were able to keep up and you were, engaging very proactively. So very happy to see that. But yes, Banu, if please, if, if you can unmute your mic and share what do you think, and also something what else would you like to get from a community like this?
See, it's a really a nice session, and the way we analyzing the share, it gives some sort of idea about the shares financial market.
Yes,
Though we are in finance background, the shares and securities are literally it's a different world.
yes, yes.
It requires an in-depth analysis of the shares and securities. So I really enjoyed this session.
Yes. So the thing
Thanks
is
for
that we
being
all
part
are,
of.
yeah, all of you are finance professionals, and you can analyze this stuff on your own independently as well. The purpose of having a community is that we are having a meet every Saturday, and the only
Yeah,
thing you have to do is attend these Saturday sessions, and you want it or not, your mind will be occupied with this stuff, and your investing
yeah,
sense will grow on your own. And this helps me actually more than anyone, because because for these club meetings I have to read, and I have to keep in touch with the investing market. I have to learn from you guys, and all of this happens in a very coherent fashion. So I'm very happy that some this is helping me in very big way, and I want everyone who is in the group also, it should help you in that same way. It should help you build that consistency around investing journey,
yeah, of course.
right? Because you see, to be very frank, there are educative content way better than this on YouTube, right? You can you can you can get way more information on YouTube, but the personal touch and the community type of thing that has here, it's something that can help each other in consistency. So yes. So all of you, I'll just give you this shout out. Okay, even if nothing, the whole week, even if you do not think about markets, just attend this Saturday session, and the next Sunday, tomorrow Sunday, you will be on your own motivated to read something or to research something related to this or anything other. But this will build this habit within you, all of you. Kalyan, you would like to say something? How did you find it? Cool. So maybe Kalyan is away, and from the feedback of all the new people as well, I am understanding that all of you at least made some sense out of this 1.5 hour of session. Kaushik, how did you find it? Kaushik is a very young guy in a very finance heavy group of us. You were able to understand. I tried to keep the things as basic as possible. You were able to understand, Kaushik. You can put in the chat as well.
Yes, sir, it was nice. It is my first time attending any financial
Mhm.
like these sessions, and I am very happy that I understood many new terms that I don't know before.
Yes,
Thank you very much, sir.
welcome, welcome. Just attend consistently, and you'll not realize the amount of learning that would have happened even without trying. So to such a happening session, such a worthwhile session with we'll end this session with a very positive note. Thanks all of you for making it here on a weekend and exponential compounding Saturdays. Exactly. These Saturdays will make our, you know, make our future compound in a very big way. And not only investing, but also understanding general business and sense economy of around us, business sense. So I will end the session here, and the next about the next meet I'll put it in the गुड बाय बोलना पड़ेगा बाय चलो थैंक्स एवरीवन गुड नाइट गुड नाइट गुड नाइट हैप्पी न्यू अरे 28 हो गया आज in 3 days happy new this new year is coming so in 2025 will be the year of investing for all of us huh? Happy new year everyone build new habits build fulfilling habits in this new year that actually take you to true meaningful success and happiness. That's something I'll say. Thanks all of you.